and welcome to Working Title, my solo project podcast rant type thing. I think I have some ideas for what it's going to be called. Um, I have to find the fucking YouTube thumbnail thing. I can't find it. Where's the YouTube thumbnail thing? Anyways, oh, here it is. I think working title, I think this might be called When the Day's Done, or When It's All Said and Done, or um yeah, I don't know. All said and done, kind of I think I like all said and done. Like when it's all said and done. Because then the acronym for that would be a sad, and it'd be a sad podcast. Uh, so that'd be kind of cool, I think. But right now, this working title I have is When the Day's Done. So that's I like that too, but I like the whole aspect of having an acronym. Uh, you know, Makes sense, I guess, to me. But right now, it's just gonna be called When the Day's Done, which is I don't know how a one man podcast really works. If I'm being honest with you, I think you really have to have several topics to not think about, to talk about, and you also need to have a direction. I have neither of those. I think I can just look into my notes and just start rambling about, whatever and shit like that. Because this is a project I've wanted to start it. What? This is a project I wanted to start for a while now. Sorry, I just looked at a note and I got upset. Yeah, no, this is a idea I wanted to do for a while now that I just haven't been able to. Just because I've just been busy and lazy and working on other things. But it's currently January 2nd. Hopefully, this will be out in 5 days, January 7th. I'm thinking I record at the beginning. I'm thinking, hold up, um, like a 7 day period. You know what I mean? I'm thinking um, record January 2nd, post January 7th, record January 8th, drop January 14th. So I drop basically every 7 days, every week, basically. But who knows if I'll fucking stick to that. And who knows how long these will be. These will probably be like less than an hour because it's just me. And who knows, maybe I could get some input from other people. Maybe some other people can get on because if you aren't aware, I also have another podcast with some of my friends on a channel called Four Schmeefers, which we might have to change to Schmeefers just because the numbering is confusing, and it's usually just me and my other friend Neo, and it's usually not the other two. And then we occasionally have extra people on, so it gets even more confusing. But that's besides the point. I've wanted to, little context, I've wanted to start this podcasting for a while now, and I was happy when I started a podcast with my friends, but it got really hard to constantly record every week, and so we ended up just dropping it. And we were also busy with school and like work and stuff like that too, so that's also a part of it. But we ended up doing it for a while. It ended up being really hard to record and send the files to each other, and it was hour long files of recording that I then had to edit. Um, and sometimes I couldn't record on my phone and stuff because that's how we would record. We would record on our phones, with just like the screen facing down, and then it'd just be like 1 hour long video, and then I'd send it to my laptop, and then I'd just upload it to the iMovie, and then I'm boring myself. Holy shit. I'm sorry. But yeah, no. Really, really super duper quick context. I wanted to do a podcast for a long time. I started one with my friends. It was cool, but it's really inconvenient to do that. It's just not convenient at all. It's super hard to get everybody together. It's super hard to constantly come up with um, what would you topics, I guess, is the best way to put it, for lack of a better word. It was really hard to choose topics and stuff like that, and we could just go over things that have happened, but that would be like, like, oh, what did you do last week or whatever, and it'd be like a 20-minute conversation, and we just wouldn't have anywhere to go. So usually it'd be nice to have some terms, oh my god, some topics to discuss. Regardless, I promised myself that this year I would do a lot more content focused on myself. I like making videos. I like making content. I like making rants, I guess. I like talking about different things, but um, I told myself I wanted to do more content focused on myself and not always with my friends because I have a lot of time for myself. I have time. I have time now. I have time. I have energy. I have motivation. I have creativity. I have the determination to make content on my own, to do stuff that I want to do, videos, music, podcasts, editing, all of it, the whole shebang. Um, yeah. So this podcast, I guess I really just wanted to start off. I really wanted to start off with something that I'm extremely passionate about, which is YouTube, which is where this is going to be uploaded. I don't think there's any other platform I'm going to upload this to. So, um, YouTube has always been a part of my life. Oh my God, I am 20. I'm going to be 21. Can you do something for me? I'm going to be 21 in a few weeks, the 18th of January to be exact. And turning 21 is going to be difficult, but uh, I've been a YouTube fiend since the minute I found YouTube, basically. From, watching really shitty old Minecraft Let's Plays about like Hairbrand and stuff like that with really terrible audio and fucking video quality to listening to podcasts. More recently, I've been listening to like the Super Mega Cast, which is part of the reason why I also wanted to make content is because I listen to their podcast and I'm like, oh, that's really super cool. It's just them talking, having a conversation for an hour, and I usually drink and put it on and then play Minecraft and stuff like that. I mean, not underage drinking, of course, none of that, but I'm talking Mountain Dew, baby. You know what I mean? And so I'll just drink, play Minecraft, have that on in the background. It's just a peaceful time, and I guess I kind of wanted to give somebody else that also. But yeah, I've been watching YouTube a lot recently, and it'll mostly be like before I go to sleep, or when I wake up at like 1 in the morning and I can't fall back asleep, and I like wake up like hungover and stuff like that. Not off beers, obviously. We got feds watching, and so I've been watching recently again, like I said, the Super Mega Cast, which is a super cool podcast that I super recommend. Is over like 300 episodes now, um, and they started doing a live action podcast, the same podcast, but now they have like multiple cameras for multiple angles and stuff like that. It's super cool, and they have guests on all the time. It's super sick. But yeah, I've just been a fan of YouTube since I could remember, and I remember always wanting to do or make content, but never knowing how, never knowing the first step. My first experience actually uploading something on YouTube wasn't even me. I think it's like completely unconsensual, but it is. It was. I don't know if it's still up. It's probably not still up. I can't find it. The first experience I have with something of mine being on YouTube was a friend of mine. Her name is, or their name. I think they go by they them now. Gotta respect the pronouns, yeah. So they uploaded a clip of me from like middle school. My friend was getting something from a bakery, and I had my guitar because I'd recently just picked up the guitar, and I was like bragging about it, taking it everywhere and stuff like that, playing it. And so I was waiting for my friend to get out of the bakery, and then she just started filming me, and she was like, "Yo, play something," and I was like, "I don't. Oh my god!" So I started playing "Horse with No Name" by America. That's the band, right? I don't know. But yeah, and then I played that for a bit, played like a few chords, didn't know the lyrics at all, like was humming it and stuff, and then just gave up and like reasonably thought that she was gonna stop recording, but she didn't. She was like, "Play I Miss You," which I miss. Oh, you might not know, "I Miss You," a song by Blink 182, which I was heavily into at the time. Yeah, I was super heavy into Blink at the time, and so was she. And so was our fucking middle school earth science teacher, which was super cool. But yeah, so she was like, "Play I Miss You." So I played like a little bit of it that I had learned on like a YouTube tutorial. Shout out, what the fuck is his name? Marty, Marty Guitar. I don't know. Someone definitely knows what I'm talking about. Marty Schwartz or something. Fuck, I'm blanking on it. Whatever. But yeah, so that's my first experience is me playing, and then her like telling me to do that, and then a couple seconds later, I remember my friend peeked out, and he had such a high voice because we were like in middle school and his balls hadn't dropped. They mine either, but his voice is just extremely high, and he popped his head out, and I was like, "Hey, sir, what song do you want me to play, sir?" And he's like, "Whatever you want to, dude." And it was the cutest thing ever. I'm almost tearing up thinking about it now, getting emotional. It's so fucking such a sweet video. I hope I can find it, but they probably deleted it already. But yeah, that's my only experience with YouTube, and seeing myself on a screen, I was like, that's like surreal. Like even though it was like had like what 2 views, and like I was one of them, and they were probably the other one. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. I was like, oh wow, looking at myself, and I made myself laugh, and I was like, that's crazy. And um, I guess that was sort of the a turning point in my life where I was like, I think I like making people laugh. And then I went through a whole phase in middle school and high school, pretending to be somebody I'm not, stealing jokes that weren't mine, saying things that I didn't find funny just to make other people laugh and stuff like that. Really sad shit. But comedy was a huge part of my life. And actually, speaking of that, sort of to wrap it back around on YouTube, Filthy Frank was my biggest inspiration. Um, I think to date, like honestly, even today, I have glimpses of him in my personality. Shout out Joji, Glimpse of Us, huge song, W album, Smithereens, right? That's what it's called, Smithereens. I don't want to fucking sound stupid. Whatever. The newest Joji album, amazing, loved it. Uh, little short, but that's fine. But yeah, Filthy Frank, which if you don't know, is now Joji, the artist for the label 88 Rising, puts out great music. But he was formerly Filthy Frank, and Pink Guy, and Safari Man, and um, Salamander Man. That's what I'm thinking of. Lemon, Chin Chin, all of this. Like, there's a whole lore. I have the whole book. I got it exactly a year ago, actually, and I still haven't finished it just because I'm fucking lazy. I got it like it's a Secret Santa Christmas gift. It was fucking amazing. Um, but yeah, George Kusunoki Miller, formerly known as Filthy Frank, Pink Guy, etc., has a whole lore, has a whole world with characters, and I just, being a fan of D&D also, I thought that was fucking amazing. Having a whole world, in a YouTube channel was just like my jaw dropped the minute I found out that there was lore. The minute that I found out that there was like more to the story than meets the eye, it's not just a stupid. Well, it is. It is just a bunch of stupid videos of people doing gross shit. But then you get down to the knit and grit, and it's like actually a whole world that exists within a YouTube channel, and it's like fucking amazing. It really is just inspirational. And I was like, this is insane. There's like so many characters that interact with each other, and stories and inside jokes that you could only get if you watched it, and there was a lot of social commentary as well, the whole like it's just a prank, bro, video where he was just going around just being a fucking asshole and saying it's just a prank, bro, just because that's how prank channels got away with, fucking harassing people in public. um Videos like why like Facebook sucks, or why I hate drones, or pimp my wheelchair, and just it's so much to talk about because it's literally a hidden gem, which is another thing I want to cover in this podcast is uh Joji's or Pink Guy's album. It's all the same person, but Pink Guy's album, Pink Season, with a car, with like a pink car with the license plate that says Pink Season on it. It's like 35 tracks long, and even though it is a funny haha album, like a stupid nothing fucking matters, he breaks character in the album a lot. It's just dumb, useless, racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic. I'm pretty sure at some point. Why not? I don't know. Just dumb shit that gets that gets like a cheap laugh out of you. But then there's also really hidden gems in there that I really wish to discuss because it's a heavily underrated album. I definitely, it's not for the lighthearted. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. It's not for people who get offended easily. But I don't know. There's something so magical about the way that Joji had such a grasp on YouTube, and the fact that he left at the perfect time. He learned that people were a fan of his music and a fan of him, and so he stopped doing Filthy Frank. First of all, it was unhealthy for him. I believe like he got like some sicknesses out of it. He's like ironically got something that would give him like seizures, and his throat was fucking killing him. I'm surprised he can like even sing after the Filthy Frank voice that he did for so long. Filthy Frank, huge inspiration. Most of my comedy in middle school came and most of high school came from Filthy Frank. It came from saying shocking, absurd, fucked up shit to make other people laugh. That's I'm not ashamed to admit it. Well, I am ashamed to admit it, but that's there's no point in trying to deny that I said a bunch of fucked up shit just to get a rise out of people. And I mean, yeah, I mean it worked. I wish I didn't. I wish I had my own sense of humor, but I go I go a little deeper into this in like a track of mine I have that I'm working on, where I just talk about how I would just steal Frank's jokes and stuff like that, and comedians. I researched a lot about comedians, and my whole personality was just making people laugh. And so recently I learned I still like doing that, but I like doing it in my own way instead of fucking stealing jokes, instead of becoming somebody else. I like saying what makes me laugh, and I like knowing that I can make other people laugh. You get me? So yeah, Filthy Frank was a huge part of why I wanted to do YouTube, and he just had everything down to a T. Like he was exactly what you would never want to be, if that makes sense. He was. It was funny to point and laugh at him because it's like that's wrong. That's wrong to do. You should not do that. It's almost like I don't even know how to put it. It's just so funny seeing someone do something that they shouldn't do, because you would never do it. You know that it's not right, obviously, and so you shouldn't do it. But it's a cool little like, what if I did do it, or what if somebody did, like fucking harass people on the street, or like punch a guy randomly, or prank somebody on the I don't know, but it's just fucking funny. It's funny, and there's a science to it. He definitely understood his audience. He definitely knew that everything he was doing was ironic and satire, and he was playing a character. Even at the beginning of the book, Francis of the Filth, which I highly recommend you read. I'm only, I think, halfway through it, and it's amazing so far. I'm just too lazy to pick it up again. Even at the beginning of that book, it says this story is about a character that has no affiliation with Joji himself or George Miller himself. It's man, that era of YouTube where Filthy Frank, where Max Mofo, where iDubbbz, anything for views, where they were together, it was just how to basic. Did I say how to? I don't know, but the era where they were together was just unstoppable. Everybody, I think, who knew of them wanted a friend group like them. They all wanted to have, like, they all wanted like the fat guy who would do like anything, who was like out of pocket. They needed the wise, Max Mofo, I think, who would just repeat shit. They needed the quick witted Ian, iDubbbz. They needed the out there character that was Filthy Frank. This like fucking loud raunchy. They all had their own aspects to them. I think Max was a pretty boy. I think I still do have a crush on Max. He's super cute. But each sort of character, it was almost like, I'm sorry to bring D&D up again because I'm a big nerd, but it really is just like their own party, their own squad, their own group of people, their own, yeah, like I said, their own party, their own group of people that just had their own aspects that they just brought the best out of each other, and the worst. A lot of times it's the worst. Like so many other videos just bring so much joy to me. Like the Cake Trilogy is something I go back to very often. Just seeing how carefree they were, seeing how open they were with each other, and seeing how they would test their limits just to get a laugh out of each other. I mean, seeing where the line was, and just barely tiptoeing over it, and seeing, if I cross the line, will they cross the line with me, is something that I found myself constantly thinking about with Filthy Frank and anything for views, Chad. It was just constantly just like, I'm doing fucked up shit. Are they gonna do fucked up shit with me? And it got to the point where I was mimicking that with my friends. We were just being loudmouth, fucking annoying teenagers, annoying middle schoolers, just making fun of people on the street, being really loud, knocking shit over, saying loud shit, inappropriate shit. it was just unnecessary. And I think I learned very late, too late, that that type of comedy is great because it shouldn't happen. It's amazing because it exists in one way, and it should only exist in one way, and meaning um, people doing fucked up shit for laughs and stuff like that is funny once. It's funny in if one person does it. If it's like, how do I explain this? This is really difficult to actually explain. It's funny when it doesn't get replicated and mimicked because then it just becomes unoriginal, and um, it's mean for the sake of being mean. At least at the beginning when they're doing fucked up shit and making these terrible, not terrible videos, but like terrible, awful, no good, um, hilarious videos. I'm saying terrible, no good, just because the shit they did was just awful. Like eating hair and vomit, and getting a tattoo of PewDiePie's bro fist on, like a bunch of fucked up shit. It's great because it happened in the moment, and you can always go back to it, and it'll always be funny and fucked up. But the minute you take it out of that and you do what they were doing just for the sake of doing it, is when it becomes terrible. It becomes awful. It becomes bad. It becomes not funny. It's just I didn't realize that. I thought that if it's funny when they do it, it'll be funny when I do it, and that's just not how the world works. I mean, it was funny for a bit because my friends and I, we didn't know any better, and so it was just like whatever made us laugh made us laugh. Whatever made them laugh, and I was gonna do whatever it took to make them laugh. And so knowing now, you know, knowing that now, I should rather, knowing that now is really helped me. It's really helped me with my own personality, with who I am. It's just very comforting to know that I don't have to be somebody else to make my friends laugh. They like me for me, and I have my funny moments. And so that's why I wanted to. I want to start focusing on my own content, and I still will do content with my friends every once in a while, but it's mostly just going to be rants and talking about things I'm passionate about. And however far this one man podcast could go is however long I'm gonna trek this battle. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that saying makes sense, but I do want to continue this for as much as possible, even if it's just like a 30-minute, 45-minute podcast. Hopefully it doesn't go over an hour, because listening to this for over an hour, listening to my own voice is terrible. I hate fucking editing and shit like that, especially when I know it's coming and stuff. But I do have to rewatch these to make sure I don't say anything fucked up, and or I slip up and say I don't know. I just need to rewatch and make sure I don't do anything stupid. Like I edit a lot of shit out of the podcast that I did recently with Neo on the Forge Meefers YouTube channel. I'll probably link that somewhere down there. Which, by the way, that is going to become a podcast channel similar to this one, but this is going to be mainly just a one-man podcast. That one is probably just going to be me and Neo, and then if any of our other friends have time. But it'll be a once-a-month upload for that channel, and it's just going to be like a quick little recap of the month, or just to make sure, not make sure, but just because we want to throw content out there, have a podcast, why not? I really love the idea of podcasts just because it's just something you could sit down. I love the idea of a podcast because you could just sit down, listen to it, have it on in the background, or that's mostly why I watch YouTube now, is commentary videos. And although I do love creative content, I've found myself becoming so anxious and stressed that sometimes I just like watching boring gameplay. Just long-winded, boring gameplay with great commentary over it. That's just the way I've been leaning recently, and I like it. I fuck with it. You know what I mean? I like just sitting down, listening to something for an hour, focusing on something else, just having the background noise and laughing every once in a while. Maybe this won't be a funny podcast. Maybe this will just be me talking. Maybe this will just be me ranting, which I've said about 600 times in the podcast already. But yeah, going back to YouTube, I've always wanted to do it. Filthy Frank, Max Mofo, iDubbbz, Anything for Views, How to Basic, they all inspired me to do content that makes people laugh. I wanted a friend group like them. I tried I'm sure my friend group and I tried doing stupid, fucked up, loud, inappropriate shit just to mimic them, which is wrong now. We can see, but it was great in the moment, and looking back at it, I'm embarrassed. But monkey see, monkey do. You know what I mean? We were just kids, and kids were just copying what the big dogs did. This guy has like 1 million subscribers because he's saying fucked up shit, being loud and being rude to people. If I do the same thing, more people are gonna like me. I'm gonna be more famous. I'm gonna, just these completely delusional thoughts of mine of becoming a content creator just because I'm funny. When I don't know. I mean, I have my moments, but obviously not. No, not fishing for pity or funnies here. I'm just saying in general. I think I have my moments, but I think I would like more chill, relaxed content, edited pretty, uh, minimal, minimal editing, so something really nice, a little soft music in the background. Which reminds me, I need to do like an intro thing, not only for the Schmeefers, for the Schmeef Talk, the For Schmeefers podcast, but also this one when the day's done. Um, Hopefully I can do something about that because I also do make music and stuff like that. Hopefully I'll make something super quick and catchy, and that's it. Um, but yeah, um, going back to YouTube again. Uh, I've always wanted to make content, and so now here we are. And hopefully, I have a bunch of videos lined up in my iMovie that I'm just gonna upload sporadically throughout the year, and I can hopefully keep this up as long as I can keep this up. I think that sounds stupid, but I think it makes sense. I want to keep this going for a while, and it'll be a nice thing to keep me going. It'll be a nice thing to keep me grounded, to keep me sane, to keep me from fucking just thinking too much, overthinking shit, falling into bad habits again. I bite my tongue, it's a bad habit. That's gonna date this video. You're gonna be like, oh, he recorded this. Oh, okay, all right, I see. No, it is January 2nd. That song is still relevant to me. I fucking play Bad Habit too much. I'm also looking for new music, so drop some music down in the comments that you might want me to check out. I might even fucking do some reviews and shit like that. I've always wanted to do reviews and stuff like that, but I haven't had the balls. I haven't had the balls to drop anything. I haven't had the balls to actually do a review. I had a review thing with my friend Neil on the Four Schmeefers, but for privacy reasons, he had to take those down. So now I think I'm just gonna have a discussion with him over like Discord or something like that, or maybe in person, and then throw in some audio uh, of us talking, and then rate movies and stuff like that. Because I have been on a binge lately of movies. I recently saw Risky Business. I've been watching a lot of Tom Cruise movies, like Rain Man, Risky Business. I think I also watched. Actually, you know what? It's just those two movies with Tom Cruise in it. I'm bugging, actually. But I also saw. I started watching Eraserhead. I haven't finished it. I started watching. What the fuck is that movie called? The Wizard of Oz, the original, with Dorothy. Oh my god. Yeah, I started watching the original Wizard of Oz. Super cool. Haven't finished that either. Finished Risky Business. Saw Rain Man. Watch it again. Actually, it's so good. Um, and I forgot which other movie. Good Will Hunting. Fucking phenomenal movie. I saw Avatar, the first one, recently with my friend because he had watched the second one and he was like, "It's amazing. We should watch the first one." And I have to say, it's fucking phenomenal for a movie that came out in 2009. That movie looks fucking fantastic, and I can't wait to see the second one. He told me that there's some reviews that he told me there's some reviews that are like, "Oh, I forgot it was like CGI," or "I forgot like it's another world or whatever. It looks so realistic." And I was like, "Ah, that sounds fishy," but I don't doubt at all. Like if they made like a movie that holds up today in 2009, I can only imagine what they did for a movie coming out in 2022. So here's that, and with that, I think I'm gonna segue over to Pink Season, the album by Pink Eye or Filthy Frank, Joji, whatever you wanna call him. I made this list, I guess you could say, a list. Yes, a list. A list of all the sluts I've missed. I have not fucked or sucked these sluts, and thus my nuts are rather pissed. Ooh. Um, yeah, there's 35 songs. Uh, I made this song. Not song. I'm tweaking right now. I made it. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go get some water. Just give me one more second here. Whoa, and we're back. And we're back. We're slowly walking towards the mic, and we're back at the mic and shit. Alright. We're gonna come out of the gate with a bold ass claim. I need that water. I'm kinda hungover. Here's my bold claim. Let me move in a bit. Here's my bold claim of the day. I'm not gonna have one every day, but Pink Season is to comedy albums what To Pimp a Butterfly is to rap. There's so many albums. I mean, not albums. I mean, there are, but there's so many genres that fucking To Pimp a Butterfly covers. Like, it's actually insane. That's a whole topic for another day, but they're also similar in the fact that I can listen to individual songs off Pink Season. I typically try to, but I love the process of listening to the entirety of Pink Season. Like, it's so long. How long is it? Let me check right now. This will probably be off because it's not like, it's seconds and stuff like that. But it didn't tell you seconds on Apple Music. Shout out Apple Music, Apple Music gang. It is an hour and 17 minutes. Fuck me. Yeah. I think Pink Season is an amazing album. I listen to it all the way through most of the time. Let's just dive into it. My audio just randomly stopped recording. I don't know why. I think I'm going to leave the hidden gems within Pink Season for another podcast, or maybe I'll make it. I think I'm going to record right now. I'm going to record it, and it's going to be its own video type thing because I just like the idea of having it be its own thing instead of just adding it onto. It's appropriate, I think, for the idea of Joji and Pink Eye and stuff like that, and starting YouTube. But I'm gonna have that be its own thing. That being said, though, I think that'll just wrap it up for the beginning of this podcast. I'm sorry it's not like an hour long or whatever. Maybe I'll make it a bit longer. But I think for the most part, this is just gonna be me talking about shit I want to talk about. And if you want to tune in, that's great. Recommend it to people. If you have 30 hours. 30 hours, holy shit. If there was a 30-hour podcast, I'd shit myself. If you have 30 minutes you want to kill or just want to have this in the background, it means a lot. Just again, obviously you don't have to, but it's just, I enjoy it. I think I definitely enjoy making content. I definitely would enjoy listening to someone just talk about whatever for like 30 minutes while I'm doing something else, or even while I'm just like laying down, just listening to it. I find that really relaxing, and maybe somebody out there will find this relaxing too. But yeah, next week, I'll have another podcast. I'll have another uh, when the day is done. That being said, take care, and I will see you guys in 1 week. See ya.